All right, let's get right into it. Welcome, elite competitors. Today, we're diving into a critical tactical briefing for high-intensity training readiness. Think of this explainer as your definitive survival guide to pre-mat nutrition. No fluff, just the hard science and tactical execution to make sure you never, ever step onto the mat depleted again. Let's go.
Because, look, we've all been there, right? You're rushing straight from work, the chaotic commute is finally over, and you're staring down a heavy sparring session. So, do you roll empty or heavy? You kind of have to choose between going in completely depleted and gassing out by the third round, or eating a huge meal and feeling literally sick while defending a heavy knee on belly. It's a massive dilemma.
So, here's our battle plan. We'll start with the pre-mat challenge, then break down glycogen, which is your tactical fuel. Next, we'll calibrate exact doses by body weight, adjust for intense sweat, and finally, we're going to build your emergency kit.
All right, Section 1, the pre-mat challenge, 30 to 60 minutes to war.
Listen, a normal meal, eaten say 2 to 3 hours before training, is focused on complete fueling. It has time to actually leave your stomach, but a tactical snack, the stuff you eat 30 to 60 minutes before stepping on the mat, that is an emergency intervention. It has one job and one job only: rapid energy correction without weighing you down. You're dealing with stress, a ticking clock, and the extreme physical demands of combat. You simply cannot treat this window like a regular lunch.
And why are we so militant about this? Just think about the literal demands of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We're talking constant abdominal compression, prolonged isometrics, and explosive takedowns. Honestly, if you've got slow-digesting food just sitting in your stomach while you're folded in half retaining guard, you are going to be miserable. So the absolutely crucial point here is that whatever you consume must leave the stomach instantly to prevent nausea.
Moving right along to Section 2, glycogen, the tactical fuel, the ammunition for explosions and isometrics.
Okay, the science of combat readiness basically comes down to this: muscle glycogen. It's literally the carbohydrate stored directly in your muscles. When you need to bridge out of a bad position, or hold a heavy isometric grip, or scramble out of a takedown, this is your primary source of immediate energy. If you skip a meal and show up to the academy completely depleted, your technique will inevitably fall apart. Not because you suddenly forgot your jiu-jitsu, but because your nervous system and your muscles just lack the glycogen to execute the movements.
So how do we prioritize this fuel for that tight 30 to 60-minute window? Carbohydrates absolutely must be sky high. Proteins and fats? Zero. Nothing. Why? Because fat, fiber, and heavy protein delay gastric emptying. Basically, they trap food in your stomach. That heavy protein bar or handful of nuts you thought was a healthy snack, yeah, it's going to betray you on the mat. To ensure lightning fast digestion and immediate fuel availability, simple carbs are your absolute priority here.
Which brings us to Section 3, exact doses by body weight. Let's calibrate your tank.
Let's lock in your exact numbers, because a 90-kilo black belt and a 55-kilo competitor just cannot run on the exact same amount of fuel. If you're a 75 to 90-kilo athlete heading into a heavy roll, your target is 50 to 60 grams of carbohydrates. In the 50 to 60-kilo range, you need 35 to 45 grams. Find your weight class and memorize your specific number. Seriously, this is exactly what you should take away from this explainer: your specific ammunition requirement to sustain elite output on the mat.
Now, let's put this on a timeline. The golden rule here is simple. The less time you have before the roll, the more liquid and simple the fuel must be. At 60 minutes out, you can handle a light solid, like white bread with jam. At 45 minutes, drop the volume, maybe just pretzels or a banana. By 30 minutes, you absolutely must switch to semi-liquids, like a carb gel or fruit puree. And if you're 15 minutes away from tying your belt, absolute minimum volume. We're talking just sips of an isotonic drink or a packet of honey.
All right, Section 4, intense sweat strategy. Time for some battlefield adjustments. Let's compare your hydration options, because dehydration will literally destroy your performance on a hot day. Pure water? It's great for basic hydration during short, technical classes. But when you're sweating intensely over multiple rounds, an isotonic sports drink is a massive tactical advantage. It does double duty. It guarantees hydration while simultaneously delivering rapid sodium and those crucial carbohydrates right when the clock is ticking down.
But, and this is a big but, you've got to follow some tactical hydration rules. Drink 200 to 500 milliliters in small sips. Never ever chug a massive volume of water at once. It's a total rookie mistake that'll leave you bloated and sloshing during a scramble. Make sure to test your isotonic drinks beforehand too, so the sweetness doesn't make you nauseous under pressure. Oh, and be extremely careful with excess caffeine during night training. Trying to mask your exhaustion with heavy pre-workouts is basically going to nuke your sleep and recovery cycle.
Finally, Section 5, your emergency kit, the arsenal in your backpack.
You really need to treat this backpack kit exactly like a soldier's emergency gear. Step 1, assemble a fixed kit and leave it permanently in your gym bag. Do not rely on the gym's vending machine. Step 2, keep a liquid option ready for that 15 to 30-minute panic window. Step 3, stock a solid, light option for the 45 to 60-minute window. And Step 4 requires some actual operational discipline. If you use an item on Tuesday, you restock it on Tuesday night.
So, what exactly goes into this arsenal? Here's your checklist of highly reliable, non-perishable items. 2 carbohydrate gels, 2 to 4 packets of honey or molasses, 1 small pack of dry carbs like rice cakes or pretzels, stuff that won't melt in your bag, 2 doses of powdered isotonic mix, and a backup water bottle so you never have to depend on a crowded water fountain. Keep this permanently in your gym bag or office drawer, and I promise you will never be caught off guard before training again.
I want to leave you with this incredibly important quote from our source materials. The food that is theoretically better, but you have never tested, is worse than the simple food you already know works. Hit the nail on the head, right? As an elite competitor, do not experiment with unproven, trendy foods right before a major training session. Stick to your reliable, tested arsenal.
Well, that brings us to the end of this briefing, and I want to leave you with a hard question. What is in your backpack today? Are you walking into the academy guessing, just hoping you'll have enough energy to survive? Or are you walking in completely fueled, armed with your kit, and fully ready for a high-intensity roll? Calibrate your tank, pack your arsenal, and go dominate on the mats. Catch you next time.